And then we're going to take marriage advice from a guy who cucks out his wife's. And that's who we're going to take as a leading expert on masculinity, on marriage, on having a great. These guys don't have great relationships. Basically, the reason why I threw this in here is because he makes the same claims, more or less. Let's see if I can get it here. Makes the same claims. Listen to this.
All of these people talk about relationships is so.
Do you like that? All of these people. Who? Well, clearly it's Sneeko and who are admiring.
It's like, oh yeah, like women are out here dating for resources and men are looking for the youngest, freshest, lowest body count woman. And that's like all they have to say about relationships.
They're not saying what's healthy and what's not healthy. They're just describing what it is. Women have gone for men with more resources and men have gone for women that are younger and more pure.
They would have been dead.
Yeah, but because women couldn't work. So of course they went after resources because they couldn't work. If you think of like people that are in happy, healthy relationships.
Okay, well, I can disprove that right now because in gender egalitarian countries, those gender roles, let's see, women marry a lifestyle and not the man. That still holds true in Denmark and Norway and Finland and all of these. The reason why they go to those countries is because they're supposed to be, anyways, the most gender egalitarian countries on planet Earth. That's why they do that. And you know what we find? The same thing that unfortunately that Pearl was talking about, which is, we stick to our fucking gender roles. It's not necessarily like women want a guy who performs. And how do we measure that performance right now? Well, physical prowess, number one, and then affluence, status, money. Well, money would be affluence, but all of the protection, provisioning, and parental investment, all of that is still qualified and quantified, I should say, in how much money does the guy make? What are his resources? What's terrible? What's his status? What's up? They still marry for that. Hell, this dude would not be in a fucking marriage if that weren't the fucking case. If that weren't the case, if this guy, tell me right now, I want everybody to tell me on God's honest truth. That chick, his wife, whatever she is, would be with him if he was penniless. If he was just some schmuck jerking off and playing League of Legends in his mom's basement. You think you're going to, the reason why I'm calling this out is because, Melina, whatever, she was called out by Adam Sosnick for the same fucking thing on Adam's show. He thinks that. You honestly think that? No, you have to perform, asshat. That's the whole problem. Is there's this the latter half of the millennials and a good portion of the Zoomers, and I'm saying all Zoomers, but like a good portion of the Zoomers think that it should be non-performance. They should love you for just you. It should be all about love, just like good James Lowell just was saying. No, it's not about that. It's about your fucking performance. Just as I was reading in Rob Henderson's, his talk to the University of Virginia, right? Yeah, it does matter. That's the whole, well, they couldn't earn resources. Yeah, that's what's fucking things up right now. Because there's a natural order to it. There's a natural, innate, instinctual, evolutionary order to all of that. I'm not saying it's God's plan. I'm just saying that's just how the machines evolved. You can throw God into it all you want. That's fine. I'm not going to argue with you. But the machine works the way the machine works, even in egalitarian countries. Want me to get those stats for you? I'll be happy.
Relationships. Are you thinking of like God? Like she found a guy and it's just so cool because he gives her so many resources and it's so cool that he's like 48 and she's 22.
No. We think he's going. Well, I'll tell you what I think. When I'm looking at Mike Sartain, I'm looking at Kyla. I'm going, bravo, well done. There's a reason why Aristotle said that the best of age for men and women to marry is women at 18 and men at like 36 or 38. I think there's a reason for that. I can go dig that up. He has a whole like dissertation on that. Hey, thank you very much for that, PP. I appreciate you.
PP.
There you go. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Of course, you come in right at this point. Now, I think both of these, this is like the blind leading the blind. There's no way Pearl could ever defend this position. And you're never going to convince this blue-haired drag queen that the reason why he's married in the first place is exactly what Pearl's saying here.
Yeah, you might not think of it like that, but it's true. It's a description.
I disagree. I think that
this is Pearl. This is why Pearl has no business in the refugee. That's a description. Yeah, she's trying to say it's a praxeology is what she's trying to say. She just it's like she tries to riff on like stuff like this. Well, what she's like racking her brain. What would Rollo say? What would Myron say? What would Brian Stone say? Well, it's a description. It's not a prescription. I heard that somewhere. Some smart guy said that.
Most successful relationships require like a higher level engagement. It requires a more.
What is that? What is a higher level of engagement? I'm asking that because that is almost identical to what John Lovell talks about here.
Work. There are more things that go into building a healthy relationship.
Such as long on rhetoric, short on specifics.
Between two people than just resources on one side and youth on the other. Like that relationship isn't going to last for more than like 6 months.
Well, I can tell you that it's lasted for at least a year with Kylie and Mike. And let's see, I could also point to, recently in the news, Chris Evans and his young hottie. Hell, I can even disprove that with Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio stays with his hot little chippies a lot longer than 6 months. I'm being facetious, but I understand what he's trying to say. Well, if it's just based on resources and youth, yeah, that's the balance between all relationships. Trust me, it should be about more. Well, what is that? Love, mutual respect, blah blah blah. Yeah, well, that doesn't pay the bills, man. That doesn't that doesn't keep the lights on. You still have to. Men have to perform. See, this is the thing. This is the fantasy of really blue pill cucks, really. But it's this fantasy that they can be loved. They can be loved and respected and admired and just held up on high, right? Whatever those higher values are that they are going to achieve. Oh, damn. Thanks, man. That they can achieve all of that irrespective of what their performance is. This, by the way, is the ultimate fantasy of blue pill losers. It is that they can be loved and accepted and that they can get respect and that they can get status and that they can get affluence for doing nothing. For zero, other than listening, being a good listener and whatever bullshit Oprah has like filled their brains with. You must perform. The burden of performance is a male burden. And that's the reason I called it the burden.